There are 69 missions in Palworld. We have 32 main missions and 37 side missions. The main missions are pretty simple in the beginning. You have to activate an eagle statue, gather some wood, build a workbench. These are more of a guide to new players, but they ramp up very fast at the end. They go from those simple tasks to defeat all the tower bosses. There's not much middle game tasks in the main missions. The side missions though are a bit more fun. There's plenty of NPCs that needs our help with getting a specific pal, a specific item, and even help with kicking someone's ass. We can split the side missions into 3 categories. We have 24 one and done missions. This is where you only get one task to complete. We have 4 request missions. These have multiple tasks in them. An example for this is the request from the veteran hunter. It starts off with the goal of killing 5 bosses and then slightly increases all the way up to killing 100 bosses. Which is very difficult because killing a boss multiple times will not count here. I will explain how that one works later. And lastly, we have the arrogant pal critics. There are 9 pal critics that want to see a total of 54 pals, including some endgame pals like Bastigor and Celestir. If we count all the tasks in the missions, then we will have 146 tasks to complete. I'm only changing one thing in the settings, and that is the incubation time to 0. I'm not gonna breed for any pals, but if I find eggs, I will take them. There's not gonna be much of that either. So let's begin. And right away, I completed a few main missions. The loot you get from the main missions is terrible, so let's instead start working on the side missions. A special dish is the first quest you will encounter, and it's super simple. Bring the dish to the watchtower guard in the settlement. Now we just have to go back to the farmer and get our loot. Let's build a base and get our first weapon. My new favorite way to get early money now is to loot lotuses from the dungeons. Ever since the Tides of Terraria update, the dungeons have been filled with them. Each lotus sells for 5k, so that's some easy money right there. I'm gonna spend that money on arrows and pal spheres. I need to grind some levels, so let's start catching some pals. I find 2 fuoks, which is perfect for what I want to do right now. Right outside of the settlement, there is another farmer. She needs a water pal for her crops. Let's give one of the fuoks to her. In return, I will get a stout fruit, 5 megaspheres, and some cash. This fanatic researcher wants a fuck. Pardon me, a fuok. So let's give him that. The pal, that is. Let's give him the pal. In return, we get a gathering skill book, 3 home tellies, and some cash. Let's catch a dire howl and let's get the saddle. Back at the settlement, I'm now gonna start 2 of the request missions. The ecological researcher needs help with some research, and he wants me to catch different types of pal species. There's 10 tasks here, and the last task is to catch 100 pal types. The veteran hunter isn't as kind. He wants me to kill bosses. There are 6 tasks here, and the last one is to kill 100 bosses. This one is a bit difficult. The only thing that counts towards this is the alpha bosses and the bounties. There's 71 alphas and 33 bounties. We'll have to kill basically every boss in the game to complete this. I'm gonna make my way to Fisherman's Point. Here we can find the Wise Hunter. He likes keeping an eye on the pal population, and he needs help reducing it. There's 10 tasks here, and the last one is to catch 1000 pals. Catching pals is not a problem, as I do need to level up anyway. But before I begin with that, I want to go to Faybreak. I need a pal that can take me there, so let's catch Chillet. The Chillet I caught has the Glutton passive skill. Usually this is not good, but I can now complete a quest because of that. Hungry for recruits can be completed by speaking to the foodie farmer while having a pal with either the Glutton or Bottomless Stomach passive skill summoned. The loot from this is a power fruit and 3 cakes. The reason I want to go to Fabric is to get some easy XP. There's 2 missions I want to do here. The first one is to speak to this guy. He wants 10 Night Star Sands, and I need to wait for nighttime to gather those. I'm also waiting for a supply drop for the second mission. The reward from this is 50k XP and some schematics. Metal on Your Mind is the other quest I wanted to do here. You need 5 chromite to complete this. The only way to get chromite at a low level is from a Faybreak supply drop, and they are a guaranteed drop. I did find out later that you can actually get 5 chromite from this guy, which is so much easier than the supply drop RNG. The loot from this is 300k XP and a mining skill book. Let's sell some stuff that we gathered from Faybreak and let's buy a Ring of Mercy. It's time to catch some pals. We need 100 unique pals and 1000 total pals. I'm running out of pals to catch, so I need to upgrade my spheres. First, let's get some dog coins so I can buy the multi-climate shirt. I need to catch some Dictoises and I don't want to die from the heat. Let's defeat Lily and let's build some ore mining sites. A few more upgrades and then let's go back to catching pals. So 1000 pals have been caught. This is the loot from it. A few skill books, a fruit, and some remedies. We also completed the 100 unique pals mission, so let's loot that. The loot here is mostly the same. The first thing you get from this is a technical manual. I looted that earlier by accident, so it's not included here. There is another early game mission that I forgot about. This farmer can be found near the Panking boss. Unfortunately, there isn't universal healthcare for pals, so she needs help with some medical bills. She needs 5000 gold, and if that's too much for you, just take a look at this cute Tiefent. If that doesn't change your mind, then you're a monster. I have caught a lot of different pals, so let's talk to some pal critics. The first one is at the settlement. These are the 6 pals he wants to look at. The second pal critic can be found near the Azero boss, where Kelpsies spawn. He also wants to look at 6 pals. The third one can be found at Hypocrite Hill. These are the pals he wants to look at. You get 4 stamina remedies for showing the last pal, which is pretty good. Let's do one more. Next one is at the Gobfin's Turf, which is a terrible location. You need these pals to complete this one. Let's take a break from the pal critics. Let's talk to Zoe. Get lost? What the fuck? That's rude. We need to defeat the first tower to start Zoe's missions. The first mission from Zoe is to catch a Grisbolt. Grisbolts can be found in the first sanctuary south of spawn. If you already have one, which I do, then you don't need to catch one. Zoe's second mission is to capture or defeat 5 Free Pal Alliance members. These can be found all over the Crescent Moon Shore and Verdant Brook. A Warm Memory is her last quest. This one is easy. Just go to this location, which will be marked on your map. Pick up this blanket and then return to Zoe. The reward is that you can now use Zoe and Grisbolt as an ally. I will not do that. She will stay in my pal box for eternity because she was being mean. A fine day for fishing is the only fishing mission in the game. It's simple. Get 3 Jelliet Bellflesh and give it to the angler. The reward is insane. Earlier we gave this guy a Fuak. There are more missions like this where you have to give someone a certain pal. We have this guy who wants a Lispunk or a Lispunk Ignis. The best place to get one is from Scars of War at nighttime. They are only around level 15 here. The reward from this is really good. It can be completed early on in the game and it gives 300k XP. You also get some schematics. Another wanderer can be found near Victor and Shadowbeak's tower entrance. He needs a Wumpo, and those can be found all over the snow area in Astral Mountains. The reward from this one is 100k XP and some schematics. A sweet deal can be started near the Gobfin's turf. The hunter wants a total of 3 bee guards or Elisabes. These can be found all over this area. The reward here is only 1750 XP for some reason, but you do get a stamina elixir, which is nice. Prove the legend is one of the tougher missions in the game. This researcher has never seen a legend before, so we need to show him one. If you have played through the game and never done this quest, then you can just show a pal with the legend passive skill. It doesn't need to be a legendary pal. I don't have one, so let's catch a jet dragon. I am a bit underleveled and I don't have any good pals, so let's get a few upgrades. The Terra Prisma is really good. If I use that with the fire and poison bow, then I should be good. I also need some legendary spheres. In this mission, you don't lose your pal. He just wants to take a look at it. The reward here is 300k XP and a handiwork skillbook. This pal breeder wants 10 splatterinas. Splatterinas can be found in most of Faebreak at night time. You will lose the 10 pals if you do this mission. The reward here is 300k XP and some heroin. There are 3 missions where you need to find a pal with a certain passive skill. You need a Surf and Terra with Serenity, a Cryolinx with Motivational Leader, and a Yakumo with the easygoing passive skill. Since I'm not breeding anything, I'll have to catch these. It's best to start with Yakumo. If you get a Yakumo with Serenity or Motivational Leader, then we can use Yakumo's passive skill to catch the others. We can start the Yakumo mission in Sakurajima. The reward for getting the Yakumo is 50k XP and some schematics. You can start one for Cryolinx in Astral Mountains. I did get a Yakumo with Motivational Leader, so let's make the saddle. Yakumo's partner skill helps a lot. I get it on my 4th catch. The reward is 50k XP and a cooling skill book. The last one can be found in the desert near the tower. I didn't get a Yakumo with Serenity, and I don't want to catch a bunch of Surf and Terras, so I'll have to go with the last option. If we do the arena, we can get enough points to buy the Serenity implant. With the help of a surgery table, I can now complete the mission. The reward is 50k XP, a speed elixir, and 5 legendary spheres. The Fugitive is a great movie, but instead of hunting down Harrison Ford, we need to get this guy. This one might be a bit bugged. I did have to kill him 2 times. The reward from this is 50k XP, a vital elixir, and 5 legendary spheres. There is another hunting mission, but this time it's for a pal. A gargantuan Terrantris can be found on top of this mushroom mountain thingy. You need to either kill it or catch it to complete the quest. The reward is 300k XP, a Might Elixir, and 5 Ultimate Spheres. There are 3 missions that rewards you with pal extracts. The first one can be found near the Bushy Boss. The breeder wants to breed for some pals and he needs 5 cakes. The reward is a level 1 pal extract. The second mission is at the desert, and here's what happened. Some Rain Syndicate bastards stole this man's pal, and that is not okay. I'm cool with using pals as slaves in my base or just killing them, but stealing pals is way over the line. Capturing or killing the Crusher will give you the breeder's precious pal. Now I just need to bring it back to him. Or I can keep this myself. No, I'll give it back. The reward is 50k XP, the level 2 pal extract, and some recovery meds. The third pal extract mission can be found in Sakurajima, and we have another sad one. This guy's pal is sick, and he needs some advanced recovery meds. There are a few ways to get the meds. You can make them if you are at level 59, which I'm not. You can get them from the level 60 oil rig. I'm not gonna do that. And you can get them from a purple treasure map. You can get the maps from looting the big chest in these factions. The high level factions have a higher chance at dropping the map. If you get the map, you'll need to find the treasure, and the advanced recovery meds will be a guaranteed drop. The reward is 300k XP and the level 3 pal extract. The request from an arrogant foodie can be started at the Dune Shelter. This guy wants 10 different food items. You're gonna have to start some farms for this, and you'll need to kill a few pals to get their meat. Everything can be made with a cooking pot, and these are the 10 items you need. Broiled dumud, pancakes, rush or gyoza, fried glue pie balls, broncherry rib roast, omelette, raindrick stew, grilled lamb ball, salad, and a memory steak. We are almost done with the side missions. Only thing missing now is the pal critics and the request for killing 100 bosses. I'm gonna need to catch some pals that only spawns as bosses, so let's do the boss task first. This was the loot from killing almost every boss in the game. Was it worth it? Nope. Before we do the last Pal Critic missions, let's first complete some main missions. I still haven't crafted a normal Pal Sphere, so I need to do that. I also need to catch some pals, put them to work, eat some berries, and more. If you have done some of these before, the game will remember it, and most of the missions will complete automatically. The only thing I hadn't done was making Foxpark's harness, and a small feed bag. The game also remembers you killing the tower bosses. Only 5 main missions left, and that is to kill the remaining tower bosses. Now let's complete the side missions. The 5th pal critic is located just outside the dune shelter. He wants to look at 5 pals. Only thing I was missing here was a Phalaris and an Orzhok. The 6th pal critic can be found in Mount Obsidian near the Anubis statue. These are the pals you need. I have all of them, so let's get the loot. The 7th critic is all the way south in Astral Mountains. He also wants to look at 5 pals. 2 of these I don't have. Reptiro Christ and Suzaku Aqua. We can find both of these in the dungeons at Astral Mountains. Suzaku Aqua can only be found as a boss here. The pal critic in Sakurajima is one of the hardest ones. He wants to look at 7 pals, and I'm missing one of these. You can get Selene by breeding Palladius with a Lunaris. But since I'm not breeding pals, I'll have to wait for a meteor that has to land in Sakurajima. While I wait for this, I can grind some levels that I need for the tower bosses later. I finally get one. Let's get our loot. The last pal critic is in Fabric. He wants to look at 8 pals, and the hardest one to get is Bastigor. There's only 2 ways to get Bastigor. You can breed Frostalion with an Anubis, or you can find a massive frozen egg in the southern area of Fabric. The egg is pretty rare, so I recommend breeding for it. Here is the loot from the last pal critic. The remaining main missions is to kill the tower bosses. They only give XP as reward, so I'm gonna show you most of the rewards I got from all of this. I'm gonna use some of this stuff on my pals to make them stronger. The only challenge here is Bjorn and Bastigor. Everything else is super easy at this point. If you make it to Bjorn and Bastigor, you'll have this beam on the last tower, which is pretty cool. There is no montage for the tower bosses. The time I've spent editing this is too damn long, and I really want to play some Silksong. So that is it. All 69 missions completed. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like. Thank you for watching, and I'll see ya. I'm off to playing Silksong. Bye!